Hello everyone, Peppermint here. Have you ever wondered how these beaded ornament covers go together, how they're made? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do that with a magic number 7 method using pony beads. I call this method the magic number 7 because the number 7 can be used throughout the entire project, or for the most part. Pony beads are fun, they're inexpensive, and they're perfect to practice with and to do other things with as well. And once you're finished practicing, you could use this method for almost any type of bead. So let's get started with this. I'm starting out with about a yard of fishing line. This is very thin fishing line that I'm using. It was the most inexpensive fishing line that Walmart has. And I'm tying one end to a plastic needle. You don't have to use a plastic needle, but it sure does help. My ornament ball is about 2.5 to 3 inches. You will need to inspect the part of the ball that has the ornament hanger at the top of the ball, because the ring that we're getting ready to make will have to fit around that part. If the ring that we make will not fit around that part, then you will need to add on some more beads. And the amount of beads that you add on needs to be an even number. Here I have strung 12 pony beads in 2 different colors, blue and green, and they are alternated. And I am going back through them, so they'll actually be strung twice, so that the string will meet up, and then I will be able to tie the string. Okay, I'm pulling the 2 ends of the line. Then I am arranging the beads so that the green beads are on the inside and the blue beads are pulled towards the outside. And then I'm going to finish tying off the ring. And with fishing line, you will need to tie it more than twice for it to hold. I'm going through the next blue bead to get a good start, and then I'm going to string on 7, the magic number, beads onto my needle. And I'm showing you here where the string is and where it will be going. And that is how the project will look. And I'm going to do this same pattern all the way around the ring. I'm showing you where the fishing line is coming out of, and then I'm showing you where the needle will go. Okay, here is the last petal. I'm calling it a petal because it kind of looks like a flower. And now I'm going back through the original blue bead that I had went through to start this layer of petals. Now I'm going to go all the way around the center again so that the fishing line will meet up again, and then I will tie off the project. If you're using wire, you probably will not have to do this. But when you're using fishing line, then you may want to tie it off more often so that the project does not fall apart on you. Here I am tying it, and that is what you should have. I like to, from time to time, put the project on the ornament just to see how it's coming along and what it's going to look like, and to see if I'm going to be happy with it. Now I'm going to show you the pathway that I am going to take with the needle so that I can get set up for the next layer. The string is coming out of the blue bead on the end, and now I have strung 7 beads, alternated colors. And then I'm going to go through the next blue bead. I'm going to do this pattern all the way around the flowers. First, I'm showing you where the fishing line is coming out, the bead that is coming out, and then I will be pointing to the bead that the needle will go through. Okay, here is the last part of this layer. I'm going through the original bead on this layer. And it looks like I'm running out of fishing line, so I'm going to have to tie this off and get some more. And to do that, I'm going to have to take the other end of the line, and I will have to string it up to where both ends meet so that I can tie it off. And I just showed you the pathway that I took to get that. And yours will be different because you'll probably have a different length of fishing line. I'm guessing that this project takes about 2.5 yards of fishing line. I'm not quite sure. And that's what we should have now. Starting to look good. And I'm showing you where to start at. You always start with the middle bead on the next petal. It'll always be that middle blue bead on mine. Guess how many pony beads I'm stringing? You guessed it, 7. Okay, here is the last part of that layer. I'm going through the original blue bead. And I'm going to go all the way around the project so that I can tie off the line. Again, you know, when you're working with string, thread, fishing line, your project will fall apart if it's not tied in ever so often. Here I am tying it. Okay, that is where I'm going to start out at. That's the pathway I'm taking so that I can start out at that particular bead. It is the center bead. And there's the bead that I'll be going through. And guess how many beads I am stringing? 7. Okay, here I am taking the opposite end of the fishing line and I'm creating another pathway so that it can go up close to where I can tie off the ends again. And I'm getting ready to do the last part of this layer. And there is the blue original bead that I went through. Okay, I'm going to tie it off. Okay, this is where I'm going to be piecing it together at the bottom of the ornament. I am putting on a green bead and then I am going through a blue bead. And the blue bead is always the bead that is in the very center. So you will notice that these petals always will have an odd number, like 7 is an odd number. That way you can have a middle bead. Okay, I'm going to go around that layer again, going through every bead that I went through and the beads that I had also strung, so that it can be double thickness, because then I will have to pull to bring the ornament together at the bottom. where I'm going to pull and bring it close at the bottom, and be careful not to break your string. And here I am fixing the beads on the ornament as I'm pulling, because pony beads behave differently than what the other beads do. They have that large hole in the center, and because of that, then they will pop in and out of place. And the top of the ornament and the bottom of the ornament cover should look pretty close to being the same. Okay, I'm going to make the bow. I put on a green bead, and then I'm going to string on 8 beads. If you want to keep this the magic number 7 method again, then you can do 7 beads and then the green bead. And I keep going through that green bead on each loop that I'm making. The green bead is actually the center of the bow. Okay, now I'm making the tail. And I only put 5 on there, but like I said, if you want to keep it the magic 7, then you can put 7 on there and it would turn out just fine. What I'm actually making is half of a bow. I'm not making the entire bow here. Instead of making one bow, I'm making 2 halves. And you'll see why in a minute. Okay, here's my 2 half bows. And I have made sure that there's enough string on there so that I can put more beads on there. Now the string from the half bows are going through the hanger on the ornament so that there's a half bow on each side. And then when you pull the 2 ends of the string, then the bow comes together to create the entire bow. Then I'm going to take the string and I'm going to string on more beads to make a place where you can hang it on a tree. Okay, that is one side, and there's 2 strings going through there. And then I am going to take the other side string, the string on the other side, and I will go through all of those beads from the opposite end. And when you get finished, you're going to have like 4 layers of string going through those beads. Okay, I'm pulling the ends together, and it's going to create another loop in the middle of the bow, and this loop is a little bit longer. That way you can hang it from the hang it on the tree. and I'm tying it off and clipping the ends. And so now I have myself an ornament cover on my ornament. And I want to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next Thursday. Bye bye.